And welcome back to the second half of the Business Enterprise Show. Paddy Donnery of Donnery Motors Opel Garage here on Dublin Road in Cavan is still my guest. Just before the break there, we were just starting to go into the new range of Opels. Yes. Starting from small. Is there commercials in Opels as well?
Opel does a commercial range. They have a very good commercial range. They have the combo van, they have a Vivaro van, and they have the larger van, which is the Movana range. And they also have the Astra van, which is the caravan.
Yeah.
So they have a good range. They cater for every need.
And do you have stocks of everything there?
Yes.
Or is it a case of somebody would come along, be interested in a particular model, and you get it in? Or do you, as a franchise holder, have to have a range of everything there?
Yes, we would have a good range of stock, but just to say to you, with both, not every Opel dealer has got the commercial franchise. That's a separate franchise.
Oh, is it?
Yes, but we in Cavan are lucky enough, we have the commercial franchise as well. So yes, we would be requested to have at least one model of each vehicle plus a model of each of the commercials. So we would have a wide range in stock.
And when somebody is looking for to buy a new car now, what are some of the things they take into consideration? Obviously price, but if I was going to say if it was only price, we'd still be driving Ladas and Skodas. But I've got Skodas, are kind of a classy car now. In the late 80s, you got the same jokes for a Lada as well as a Skoda. Yeah. But Lada's gone, but Skoda is now nearly a premium model now.
Skoda is a very good selling car at the moment.
So there's more to it than the price. So when somebody is coming in for a new car, what are some of the factors that they...
Well, the first thing is, and I suppose a lot of it is, the one thing people have to realise now, are salespeople in particular, the person coming in now to buy a car is well educated. They know what they're looking for. They have this, the internet has done a lot for this. People knows what they want. And they come in, right, the prices, you're quite right. You asked me earlier on about the price. The prices of all the mid-range car, they're all in around the same. And it's really when you start going into the hassle, the haggling and all of that, that's when you find out what your real deal is. But when people come in, the first opinion is how they're greeted. It's that personal touch.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I'm one of these, probably not too much patience, when you're ringing someplace, press 1 for this one-touch phone. It's done away with the personal touch. It's nice if a person walks through the doors, they're greeted by a receptionist. That receptionist is there and will route them to wherever they want to go, be it the parts or the sales. Smile. Costs nothing to give a smile. So that's the sort of thing the person would start off looking. Then the next thing they will look at the design of the car. Is this something I would like to be seen in? Then there's the test drive. And it's not just a wee quick test. But some people won't take the test drive if they've what you call it, maybe they'll already know it. But the test drive can be the clincher. Some people might say, oh, I don't like the design of that, I don't like the look of it. But drive it. Create it differently.
And what about colour?
Colour would be a major issue.
Yeah, my wife, that's the first thing actually, I'll take that back. That's the only thing she really looks at.
The colour.
Is the colour.
If
it's automatic and she likes the colour, that's it. Deal done.
Yeah, well, that would be, sometimes you say, well, that's great if you get a person in and it's only the colour's the problem. That actually can be negative from a salesman point of view. Listen, I have 5 cars in the thing, but this lady wants red, I don't have red, will you take anything? No, I insist on red. So that can be a problem. Yeah. But you are right, colour is a big thing nowadays. And remember, if somebody's parting between anything from 15 to 25 to 35,000, you want a colour within reason. You are entitled to get that.
Of course, yeah.
So yes, colour would be a big thing. But it's all, I would say that there's a lot of the factors you've mentioned yourself, the colour, the test drive, how they are greeted with, how you're treated.
Yeah.
If they have a past history with you, how did they get on with you?
And that's a very good point that you're making there. Like you, I've been driving cars since the late 70s. And I don't think I've bought a car in the same garage twice. Because most garages where I got them wanted to sell. I bought 2 new cars. The rest were second hands. And one of the new ones was the brand we just slagged earlier was the Lada. Right. George Cosgrave. I don't know if he's even still alive.
No.
So it was usually second hand.
Yeah.
But it was as if they just want to get the money off you and you're gone. Forgetting that, I suppose maybe in them 30 odd years I'd probably bought the guts of 20 cars. And if the one garage had looked after us,
can you imagine the revenue?
They would have gotten, again, in another part of my life, when Colm, I'm talking about stuff in sales, and that is kind of one of the things that I always point out. Add up the total value of the year if it's a small items that you get, but if it's a big ticket item, just look upon it as the lifetime. But again, anytime I bought cars, just take the money off you, and if there was a niggly thing wrong with it, bring it back, and you bring it back. Well, the fella's not there, all that type of thing. So it's in fact, I remember being at a sales course, actually, I didn't know it was aimed at the motor trade, but it was run by a very well-known motor, I was going to say motor entrepreneur, but I don't think he's an entrepreneur anymore. And they were going on about kind of the big things you can be doing to get you remember their birthdays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And car. But at no stage did it say, well, when you're getting them, give them a good deal, look after them.
Yes, well, exactly what you said there, and as you
how do you deal with customer care?
What is it? Our customer care, right. There is a lot of reasons why you will keep people, but one of the main reasons is if you look after them. And it's very, very important to look after them. And you quite rightly said there, it's easy to sell a car. It's actually not a hard job to do is to sell a car. But the biggest problem is keeping that customer. And that's where you have to look after the customer. And I know myself, when people come into that showroom, even if it's in for a service, they like to see the people, that friendly face. They like to see who they dealt with. It's very important. There's no point me sitting in a chair and in the corner. It's not too much hard for me. It wasn't hard for me to get up and take the money off them. So it's not hard for me to get up and say, hello, how are you? Is everything okay? It's very bad. One little legend happened there recently. I had a woman 3 months ago, believe it, and through the internet, bought a car off me from Cork. She rang the day over the last 2 days, and she had a slight problem with him. Now, the cost of the repair to it she was quoted €500. We had a warranty put on the car. But not alone that, we were fit to organise for this lady to go into a dealer in Cork and get the problem sorted out. That lady was over the moon and said, even though the distance was there, she would have no problem recommending other people. It's very, very, especially more so now, you have to be there for everything. And as you quite rightly said, you described the salesman, and it was a very good description of order takers, because that's what, including myself, we all done that. We all done it. There's nobody saying that.
A brother-in-law of mine has done very well for himself. I suppose, like us all now, he's kind of feeling the pinch. But in his heyday, money was no problem, and he always drove Mercedes. And I remember him telling me that he went in and he bought a new, whatever it was. For some reason, marks of BMW never clicked with me.
Right.
But he said, thank you very much, sir. Right, we'll have that for you in 6 weeks. And like, he'd handed over a bucket load of money. And it was a case of, well, if that doesn't suit you, we can give it to somebody else, you know. And that's the way it was.
It was
you know?
that way. There's no point in denying that.
But now, fuel efficiency, obviously we're all kind of, buying a car is one thing, but running it is something that, is that a big factor now? Are people aware of those things? Or is it still, oh, that's a nice flashy car, I want that, and then you get it and you realise, whoa, it's cost me more in petrol or diesel a month as the actual repayments are?
Odd enough, it would be a factor, but not as big a factor as you would expect it to be. Yes, it is. I suppose mainly people are just saying, and I think the stat figures are showing something like, I think it's nearly 80% are buying diesel to 20-odd% buying petrol. So I think people are just automatically thinking, I buy a diesel car, without asking the salesman what sort of miles per gallon am I going to get. I think they're just taking, when I'm buying a diesel car, it's going to be easy to run. And I think they're nearly analysing it themselves rather than waiting for that. But the running costs in total are brought into it. And from a point of view, I was going to say, you asked me about what we do. We also do servicing. And I'm aware when somebody buys a car that people are talking about servicing and such that they don't go near a main dealer and it's this and that and the other. I said, we do a service on a petrol car. And we don't do, if you look at a lot of ads, it's saying, and a lot, not just in the motor business, from this and from that. And that, in fairness, is a very... It's a very open...
And don't forget the from, is written in letters that size.
What we do, and we put up our prices and we say them and they're showing the people, our €79 service is what you will get if you drive into us, and that's for your service, and we will do it for that on your petrol car. On your diesel car, we will stand over our €99 service. What we will also do for that, we will do a complimentary health check. We will go through...
And the driver of the car?
And no, we would leave the driver to carry out maybe to other people who know what they're doing. But we will carry out a complimentary health check on the car, and we will not do anything on that car without consulting with the customer, and we grade what needs to be done in green, red and or amber to whatever it needs to be done, and we will advise the customer whether it needs it right away, it needs to be done, and at that stage the customer knows that there's no such thing with the bill, oh, I wasn't expecting that bill, so everybody knows what they get.
Now, coming towards the end of the programme, and we're coming up towards the new 132 registration, so why should people call into Donnery Motors, and what sort of deals will they get if they call in?
Right, everybody is trying to push their deals, and we accept that that's going on there at the moment. But at the moment, Opel are talking for 132. They're running a very good campaign, and it's called 132. If you order a new car before the end of June, what we're going to do there is you're going to get a 5-year warranty, 5,000 kilometres fuel voucher, and a 5-year service plan. So when you come in, you buy the car, you can just say, that's it, I spent my money today, I'm safe enough now, I shouldn't have to put my hand in my pocket again unless something seriously wrong goes wrong. I'm covered for 5,000 kilometres on my fuel, and after that there might be a couple of bits and pieces. But that's what it's about.
And what's the full, is it available on the full range of cars?
So
is there any special deals?
There's a special finance deal also available, and as everybody knows, finance, everyone's talking about finance nowadays, it is very expensive, but Opel are offering a 4.9% APR on selected
Even the
models.
expensive, is it difficult to get?
Finance hasn't really changed that much. Main criteria for finance now, you have to give a deposit.
And of course, one of the big things, speaking of finance, one of the biggest things about cars is, and we're a border county, is the difference between the same price of a car here in Cavan across the border in Fermanagh.
If you compare like for like, it depends. People hear what they want to hear, and I'm not going to try and justify Northern Ireland versus the South. What I would say, if you go into the North, you may, what you call it, be looking at a cash price deal. You go into and you're buying no trade-in because they don't want your trade-in, or they mightn't give you as much for your trade-in. Whereas people still like to hear they get more, and they're going in and they're looking at a recommended retail price in the Republic of Ireland. What I would say to people who are planning to go north, I don't have a problem with people checking out the prices, but just give the people in their own area, the southern area, a fair crack at the whip. And what I mean by that is give it a like-for-like comparison. For example, don't go to dealer A and price a car valued at 10 grand and go to dealer B and price a car at 20 grand and say, well, look, I got a good deal at the 10 grand because it was 10 grand cheap. Give it a fair comparison.
And you talk about the local dealer there, and of course Donnery Motors is the local Opel dealer. You're big into social media, Twitter, Facebook.
My son, Stephen.
Google, all
yes. That, I suppose, after telling you about my start off back
Colgan
in
was just about to end, and well, my son that does all that. He said he has a bit part. I visions of him kind of washing the cars on a Saturday, you know.
Stephen gets involved in that. Stephen and Maria and June gets involved in that end of it. As I said, I keep to that. But we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. We're getting into all this, and it is the way forward. It's the way forward. Yes, we're getting into it.
And so if anyone wants to contact you, you can get through the internet. Any other ways we can contact you?
You can get us by phone. Our phone number is in, what you call it now, the local papers. You can get us, as I said, on donneryopel.com, www.donneryopel.com, or better still, call out to us. We're out there.
Call into us and ask for Paddy.
Ask for Paddy.
So that's the end of tonight's programme. As always, it flew by. There's about another 20 questions I could have asked Paddy to get to the bottom of his business, but maybe we'll get through to it another time. But that's it for tonight. My thanks to the background team, Dave Van Stanton, the executive director, and the rest of the team. So that's it for tonight. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.